Hello and welcome to Samsung. In this video, I want to quickly touch base on how you go about upgrading the firmware on the controller, specifically when you're going from a 2.x firmware to a 3.x firmware. So let's get started. To verify the version on your controller, you go into Monitor and Summary, and it will tell you what version the controller is on. So right now I'm on a 2.4.19 version, and I'm going to upgrade this controller to the the 3.1.8 version. So I'm going to go into administration. I am going to go into file management and upload the first thing, upload all the software. So you go ahead, go into APC package, select APC package here. So access point controller package, you have to make sure that you do that and hit upload here. Choose the file, and I'm going to go into my firmware folder, going to 318 and going to 8050 318. If this is the APC format, so VEC 8050 is for the 8050, VEC 8500 is for the 8500. Go ahead, upload it. Once the file is uploaded, you will see it say package upload successful, and you would see the package here. The next step is to make sure that you have the AP package uploaded. So you go through and make sure you select the AP package here. Go ahead, upload the AP packages, and the same thing goes here. So you can see what WEFAMA is for the 300 series and WEFAMB is for the 400 series. So you go ahead and upload those two files. It goes through the same process. Uploads the firmware here. And so you can see that the A firmware is uploaded, the WEFAMA, and that's for the 300 series. And then you do the same thing for the 400 series. Come in here, select the B firmware. So the 400 series firmware. So now that we have both the software for the controller and the access points uploaded, we go ahead and upgrade the controller first. So you come here, you select the 8050 for the controller, and you can see that you have the package selected here, and you keep this option save in package upgrade, and you hit apply. And here you will see it'll ask you for the password. Apply the password, and after the upgrade is complete, the system will be restarted. You really want to continue, you say okay, and at this point it will upgrade the moment it restarts. If your access points are housed on this controller, they will lose access, and they will, if a secondary controller is specified, they will move on to the secondary controller and house there. And then the moment the controller comes back up, they will continuously do keep alive to look whether the primary controller is up, and at that time the access points move from the secondary to the primary controller. So this is going to go through this process, and let's see how long it takes, so you get an idea of uh, what time we are looking at. Typically it takes around 3 to 4 minutes, including the reboot that happens with the 8050, for it to get completely upgraded. All right, so it did upgrade, and it goes back to the main screen. At this point, the controller is going to go ahead and reboot, and we have to wait about a couple of more minutes for the controller to come back up. And at that point we can log into the controller, and then we look at how we upgrade the access points. It is now up, so I'm going to go ahead and log into it. And you can see that now the version of firmware has changed from 2.4.19 to 3.1.8. The next step in the process is to upgrade the WAPs. Now, one thing to notice when you go from 2.x to 3.x is that the FTP SFTP settings do change. Now, by default, FTP is disabled and you're expected to enter a new password. The password policies have changed, so you cannot use the old password. So you have to make sure that you enter a password something like this, where it has a special character. So I'm going to select, this as a password. You can do the same thing. The same thing applies to SFTP also. And then you go ahead and apply. Okay, that gets applied. Next thing in the process is to then go ahead and upgrade the WAP. So let's do that. All right, so let's go ahead and upgrade the access points. So for doing that, you go into package upgrade AP. And right now, as you can see, that these are the two APs that are connected to the active version of 2419. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all of these access points are upgraded to 3.1.8. So I'm going to select a global. So let's go back and you can select global from here. Quick upgrade. You're going to make sure that the 300 series is WEFAMA. You're going to make sure that the 400 series is WEFAMB. Now, what this does is once this setting is changed, anytime a new access point comes onto the controller, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to compare its software with the current version. And if the softwares don't match, it's going to do an FTP and it's going to grab this new firmware. So it's extremely critical that you do this just one time, and then afterwards, for the most part, the WAPs that are plugged in, they automatically do this. So that's why the global setting is important. Once that is done, you hit apply, and again put the password, and that is applied. And you can actually follow as to what is happening here. So you can see right now the access points are downloading the firmware, and then eventually you would see them reboot, go through the whole process, and then they would reboot, and then they would come up with the latest firmware. So they're still downloading the packages. About I believe it's about 30 meg or so. Okay, so the first one is rebooting, and you can see the cap app status changes. Now the second one is rebooting. Okay, so now the AP2 has already upgraded. We are waiting for AP1 to report its status. Now, one thing to keep in mind, let's talk about the advanced setting. If you have more than if you have hundreds of access points, at that point, what's going to happen is it's not going to disrupt service. It's going to basically turn around and download the file to first 10, and then it moves on to the next 10. So if you want, you can change these to 50 because if you have like hundreds of access points deployed in there, it might take quite a lot of time for the whole thing to get upgraded. So you may want to change the setting to like a 50 or a 30 or a 40 so that at one time 40 devices are downloading the software. Also, all these devices are doing FTP, so if you have a good backend, it might be a good idea. If not, then it's not a good idea for it to generate so much traffic on the back core. So let's look at the status of the AP1. Okay, so it has upgraded too, and you can see that now the cap app status is active. You can verify everything is up here on the monitor points, all APs, and you can see that the access points are up, and now they have the new version loaded on them. All right, so that's all that I had for this video. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much.